Well, hello there, and welcome to a new episode of Better Motion. I'm very excited for this one, not only because of the feature that we're talking about today, which is motion tokens, but also who's accompanying me. I have George here, and George is one of our superstars, one of the product managers here at Lottie. And man, George is being incredible, and he also started at the same time, so I feel like he's my, cohort buddy in this. So hey, George, welcome, and I'm so happy to talk to you.
Great, thanks for having me, Jaime.
All right.
I've heard a lot about the podcast. Happy to finally be on it myself.
Yes, we have already, this is, I don't know if it's our 4th or 5th episode, but it's something like that. We have been talking to, some of the developers already, and I think we're building something pretty cool here. Yeah, so totally. Yeah, thanks for coming in. I've been wanting to have you for a while, but we were saving you for motion tokens, which is probably the coolest feature we have released. I don't know. I mean, I'm torn between that and Physics Simulator. Honestly, Physics Simulator, I love it. But I mean, motion tokens is something that transforms how Lottie works.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least, I mean, technically I know nothing, so I'm going to be asking those questions. So, let's get started, actually. I wanted to ask you, what is a motion token? Can I buy one? Can I keep them? Can I trade it for some other stuff?
Yeah, we probably should have thought of releasing a crypto coin along with it.
The motion token.
the motion token. But actually, motion tokens are the product name of Lottie slots. So Lottie slots is actually part of the Lottie spec, and it has been for a long time now. But users have a hard time kind of utilizing them because they require essentially editing the Lottie itself to have these slots. And users of our tool were never able to use them except for color tokens before. So we call them motion tokens in Creator or in a lot of our discussion, but developers are actually going to know them as slots. And when they access our API, it's going to be the slots API as well.
Okay, the slots API. So, and what they do, right? I mean, maybe you can explain it better, but from my understanding is that it enables me to set properties within a Lottie animation, the position, the size, the color, or of a layer, or something like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, they actually have maybe 2 sort of functions. One is using them similar to a variable. You can have that same color shared across a bunch of different layers, or you can have that same scale shared across layers. And another is to expose them to code as an editable, writable variable. So the code can actually overwrite that at runtime. That's
really great, because that means that I'm able to modify a Lottie kind of on the fly, right? And that's the power of this, I guess.
Yeah, it enables a ton of behavior. Things like drag and drop, things like translation or localization. You can have multiple languages. Your text
can I dig deeper on that, because that's a big use case for some of my customers, and it's that they might be doing a little ad, right, or a little social media post, or or something like that, or something that they're posting in their app or website, and they're a multinational company. They're serving many markets. They have a lot of languages. So will they be able to have some sort of JSON or CSV or files with a set of translations and apply that to a Lottie on the fly? How would that work?
Yeah, currently, that's a good question. I haven't thought of it in the sense of someone having the localization on a different format, but I imagine it wouldn't be too difficult to patch that in with code. But I'm thinking of a really simple example is if you create an ad natively with Lottie Creator. You could have a theme that's for English, and then you can have a theme that's for Spanish, for instance. And then you can switch those themes depending on which customer you're fielding it to.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and because you can also tokenize the font, then your code can load in a different font, and it can choose for maybe a Chinese, Japanese, Korean font set that wouldn't be in a Latin font set
as well. That's great, because it also it might help you retheme as well an animation fairly quickly. You might change a font for I'm thinking, crazy stuff for Halloween, right? So then you have whatever, whatever animation you had before. Now you put it with a, Halloween theme font, and it kind of takes that tone, right? You change also probably a couple of tokens for colors, and boom, you might be there way faster
Yeah,
than having to redo that.
Yeah, a few tokens for colors, and also and font, scary font for Halloween and stuff, and also things like you could have maybe a Santa in the sky for Christmas, and then like a witch riding a broom for Halloween, and you can actually decide to show different parts of that in a different theme or at
That's pretty cool. That the trick for that, I have seen it. You basically have the two layers happening at the same time, or two compositions, right? Having there at the same time, and you just have full opacity on one and zero opacity on the other. So you're just showing one or the other by
essentially
just a token there.
Yeah, an opacity switch. So we try to, opacity, it can range between 0 and 100, but in code we usually just like treat it as a binary, 0 or 100 on or off.
That's honestly pretty cool. That enables so many possibilities because you can have, you can hide or show different parts of an animation based on that. Does that connect with state machines in any way as well?
Yeah. So the answer is yes, but not directly.
Okay.
So, like for instance, a state machine can't set a motion token. It can't set like a value in a motion token, but you can use them in the same system. For instance, like a state machine can detect a click, or it can be playing something, and then it can fire an event, and that event can be detected in your code, and then your code can do whatever you want it to do. Or other way around, maybe the code can detect when the user drags something to a location, and then it can fire an event in the state machine and then trigger something in the state machine. So, and state machines and motion tokens can both change the theme. So the theme can be set by the state machine, or it can be set by code.
That's pretty cool. Going back a second, you mentioned, just switching the font. That means that text is rendering as text in a Lottie animation, right?
Yeah, a huge update to Lottie Creator that we kind of
randomly, as part of motion tokens, we now support text as well.
Yes, yeah. Which, that's been a long time coming, but and actually we've had it in Creator for a couple of weeks, and we thought maybe we should just hold off on the launch until motion tokens comes out. But super excited to be bringing that to users as well.
It's that's going to be also a dramatic change, because if you can have the font in and then just render the text as text, that enables to modify that text on the fly through motion tokens and to do so much more. I mean, it opens a whole new gate when it comes to creating or unleashing creativity and not having to necessarily code this, but actually write on the fly. Because my understanding is that in Creator we have an entire motion tokens UI where we can set the values of each token and modify them as well as needed. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, the motion tokens manager. So where the user would go to create new tokens, delete them, edit them, make different themes and stuff. But I want to show off some of the examples that we have, because I feel like
and show off everything that you want, man.
I feel like they kind of help to iterate what we're talking about, right?
Right.
So text.
What am I looking at here? Yeah.
So this is a Lottie animation that was created with Lottie Creator, and then there's another little UI here that we've made in the motion in CodePen. So just to help.
So it's basically a JavaScript that's generating a couple of fields here. So the name, a text field for a username and an age, right? So a number there that we have a slider to move and select the age that.
Yep, exactly. And as you can see, user in here is also user in the birthday cake animation. So this native text allows us to do stuff like this. So I can say, let me try to type around my microphone here. I can put your name here, and then it's your birthday.
Oh, there you go. It's my birthday now.
Yeah, if we didn't have native text, then this would have been much harder.
Those are, if that is a candle for a decade, I'm not that old, man. I'm not that old.
Let's see, how old? Somewhere.
There we go. That's right there. Yeah. So a little bit below, just two below, but that's it. So 4 candles. Yes, but it's incredible. I mean, you're just sliding through the age, and the candles are just showing and hiding based on the age.
Yes, and this is using that same opacity switch, the opacity trick that we were talking about before with like the witch and the Santa, is that these candles just have opacity tokens on them, and 5 of them right now have 100% opacity, and 5 of them have 0% opacity. So if I go all the way up, then they're all
the
off.
logic behind this is when I get like candle 1, when I get to 10, candle 1 turns on. When I get to 20, candle 2 turns on, or something like that.
Yeah. It's divided by 10 and then rounded down.
And the logic behind it is done in the JavaScript, and then that information is sent to the Lottie animation in order to, turn the opacity on a particular candle.
Yeah. So this uses the slots API.
Okay.
Actually, this whole thing was generated with AI.
Wow.
I imagine the designer who made this doesn't know how it works, and they just kind of vibe coded it.
Wow, that's insane.
Which is it's one thing that the slots API and motion tokens makes really easy, because I think to do this before was technically possible, but it required like a really high tech knowledge overhead, right?
Yeah, you got to be coder for that. Yeah.
Yeah, you essentially had to be a full-on developer. Whereas now, with motion tokens, you just tell the AI what tokens you have and what you want them to do. And then we have a skills document. In all of our tutorials and stuff, we've linked this skills document that users can actually just drag and drop into whatever LLM they're using. They can drag it into ChatGPT or Gemini or whoever. And then this will direct the LLM how to actually write this JavaScript document. And then the designers are just copy pasted it into here. So this stuff was done by people who've never coded before, have no idea what the code even does. But this would be so useful to give to a developer and say, this is the exact behavior that I want. You can read the code yourself and use it, or you can make it, improve it if there's some performance issue or something.
I can think of things like star ratings, for example, where you want to show how many stars, and those stars you want them to be animated in a Lottie. So showing 3, 4, 5, depending on which ones the rating is, you get the data right from your database, and then you can just show it in here and have the right animation. That's pretty cool.
Yep, and we have a ton of use cases here. I think one of the most important ones that we've enabled is drag and drop.
All right, so let me take a look at that.
Yeah, is this big enough, you think? Yeah, we can make it a little bigger.
Good enough. Fine, that's fine.
So how well do you know your planets, Jaime?
I still believe there are 9 because I think Pluto should be a planet.
Oh, unfortunately, we only have 8 here, but we can believe.
All right, so then we start with
Jupiter.
That's Jupiter. That's the biggest one. It's the 5th planet, so it should be right after the belt. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think
5 goes up there.
That's where it should be. That's lovely. And you're just dragging that in, and this planet spinning has a nice Lottie animation going for it. That is so good. It's so cool.
So this is the crazy part of motion tokens. I think we actually didn't even talk about it on the birthday cake. Is that the fire on the candles is animating at the same time that these changes are happening, right? Like some of this stuff wouldn't be impressive if there was no animation happening. But the fact that this is like a running Lottie right now, like these orbit lines are moving, the planet's rotating, the sun's rotating and stuff. Even down here, they're all rotating. And then as I'm dragging them, they don't skip a beat. They just keep going.
They just keep going. Yeah. You put Saturn in the right place. Yes,
I did. I've play tested this thing so much. Just because this was like our main drag and drop example, so I really always wanted to make sure we got it right. But yeah,
like dragging and dropping. What's happening at the motion token level?
Sure. What's going on? So first off, the animation is just playing on a loop. So this is the exact same animation happening no matter where the planets are.
Looping continuously.
And then if I click on a planet, it's getting my mouse position, and it is changing the position token of that layer.
All right, it's sending the position token. I mean, in real time as you're moving that. So it's following you. It's following the cursor until you drop it like that.
Yeah, every frame it follows the cursor. And then there's also a target. So there's a beginning area, then there's some kind of hitbox on that area, and then there's a target area. And this stuff, it sounds really like complex if I just say it like that, but like I think designers can really understand the idea that like this circle has a position. Yeah. And I
can somewhere nearby that position, I just leave that there.
Yeah, I could say within 100 pixels of that position. If I let go of the mouse, then lock it to that position. So I think this is Uranus. We could put it right there.
Yeah.
And same thing with the target. So like if I grab, I believe this is Mercury, even though it looks like Venus.
Okay, no, actually Mercury might be the smallest one. That might be Mars.
This is Venus. This is Mars.
That's Venus. Yeah, Mars is that one. Okay, yeah, it's not yeah. You're right. So, but Mercury is smaller. Okay, whatever.
Okay,
not up to scale, people. Not up to scale.
Not to scale. So if I grab Mercury here,
right,
there's a hitbox in there that says like start moving. Start changing Mercury's token
position. Yeah.
But yeah, that's essentially what's going on here.
Really good. By the way, yeah, I mean, it reminds me of a little interesting tip of if you want to know the distance of the planets. If the sun were at the top of your head, the Earth will be around your throat, and Uranus will be there. Yes.
I see. Hopefully, there's no rings around it.
Hopefully, please. All right then. Yeah, I mean, and by the way, one important bit. I'm seeing these examples and they are looking super cool, but they're looking also a little bit complex. Can our, users check those out? Can we share the link with them so they can take a look at these? Right? This is all open source. We're putting it out there. So is it possible? Can you share with us a link? We'll put it probably in the description, in the show notes. But just to make sure that anybody that wants to dig deeper at these can just get through it.
Yeah, I believe this collection is public. So I could give you the link for this collection, and people can, they can explore these themselves. Also, I wrote this guide. You can find it on like Lottie Creator.
Really good, by the way.
Thank you. The info on Lottie Creator, like in the motion tokens panel, or like some of our the blog and stuff, links to it. This guide also has guides at how to actually make a lot of these. So like the birthday cake one that we just looked at, or the planets one that we just looked at, the weather widget example. And actually we'll step by step teach users how to make this stuff. And these also link to the same code pens.
We'll share the link to that too, and we'll put it on the description as well, so that you guys can just jump in and check it out yourselves. So I don't know if there's anything else that you want to demo today, or if that's all.
Yeah, I mean, I have there's other examples I could always demo, but
well, we can take a look at maybe one more, but then I have a final couple of questions for you.
Sure. Okay, let's grab one more, and then let's see which one. Oh,
the battery one.
I think the password one.
Go for it. Yes, let's look at the password one.
So this one is really special because it is using state machines and motion tokens together. In a similar way that I described before. So we have this character that has a floppy hat and it's bouncing, right? And it has this animation. And I can actually type a password in here, and you'll see the eyes will look at the edge of the password.
That's so cool. Kind of creepy. I don't want that guy looking at my password, but
a little bit. All he sees are dots. It's okay. He can only see the hat. But the cool thing is that this is actually happening in the .lottie. So I'm not exactly sure how the designer did it, but they somehow managed to simulate these dots like in the animation. I think they're using the opacity trick on each dot.
Most likely. Yeah.
And they're detecting keyboard input and stuff here. So as I'm typing, the eyes are changing, but you can see it's still flopping and still bouncing, right? So
exactly. So that part of the animation is still happening, and the eyes will probably have their own composition there, and they have a lot of segments inside. So the segment that is looking to the left, the segment that is looking to the right, right, and they're
not segments. This is fully tokens, and the designer just said
so the position of the eye.
It's the position, position token on the eyes. The state machine is actually on the submit button. So let's say and on the reset, but submit will actually show it better. Let's say I typed in my password, I can hit submit, and it plays a segment there.
All right, there you go.
So there's two states happening. There's the idle floppy one, and then there's the submit the password one.
With the submit, not for this animation, but in general, once I click submit, will I be able to send that information to the server to kind of lock me in? Is that something that is now possible through motion tokens, or not yet?
Yeah. No, it's totally possible. You would just have to detect the key presses in your own way. The code would have to detect it. I would say probably still better to use your own like text input box, but
Makes sense.
It's totally possible to do it this way too.
Yeah, but it's also, I mean, I'm not necessarily for inputting a password, but it can be for, clicking a button to submit some information that is already there. That might be, and you just want the animation to be triggered by it while still sending the data, right? So this is a really cool example that kind of combines, the two coolest features that we have recently released, both under your tutelage, under your...
I can't take too much credit for state machines. That one, most of the work was done before I got to LottieFiles.
Before you got here, yeah. That's pretty cool. George, I have a couple of final questions for you.
Sure.
First, I know that this has been in the oven for a while.
Yes.
What were some of the challenges, the difficulties, the complicated parts, the frustrating parts as we were going through this? Any big thing, anything that you can share with us, kind of from the inside?
Yeah, I would say text itself. Text is a wildly difficult thing to design and to implement. Implement like natively, it's not using someone else's library or something.
Exactly.
I don't think people realize like how hard it is, but there's so many like little behaviors. Like imagine letter spacing or like a little, the
turning and spacing, line height, so many properties that text has, characters that can go wild depending on the font, right?
Yeah.
And bounding boxes for text. It's all of that, I guess, is a mess.
And alignment, overflow, and then also it has to work with all of our other animation properties, right? Like, opacity and masking and all that stuff.
And rotation and all the stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so just, and there was always this joke that text is always 2 weeks away. Because anytime you ask someone oh, when is text going to be finished? You say, oh, it's like about 2 weeks.
We're going to get the flying cars first.
Yeah, exactly. So it was trying to line up the ending of text with the ending of motion tokens took a lot of, maneuvering.
Yeah, can imagine.
But yeah, that was difficult. And then I think kind of just deciding exactly what we want to build too. There was a lot of discovery work, a lot of exploration work that went into figuring out, okay, we know sort of the general output of what we want the user to be able to do, but getting our system to be able to make it and in a user-friendly way. I think that was quite challenging as well.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's a lot of good UI, UX design work as well into making this usable and understandable for people who are not developers.
Yeah, big credit to our designers too.
Yeah, nicely done. All right, and then any sneak peeks, anything that's coming up, something that is not out yet that you want to share regarding motion tokens or related? Yeah,
well, okay, tokens are going to get expanded 100%. Right now, there's maybe 10 different properties that can be edited with tokens, and there's still other things like corner roundness or corner radius and trim path % and stuff like that. That could just be really cool to tokenize. We want to bring all those to users sooner rather than later.
Nice.
And then I don't know if I could talk about my hackathon project. When is this podcast going to come out? Next week?
Next week. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Then, so yeah, we're working on trying to get that code pen kind of flow into Creator. So
into Creator itself, you could create those simulations with external data popping into a Lottie animation in Creator.
Yes, and also we want to be able to export it with the .lottie, so that you don't even have to go to a code pen. You can just it just rides along with your .lottie. You hand it right to your developer and they can use it. So
we're not making promises here. This is a hackathon project.
It's a hackathon project, yes.
Right?
It's just sort of showing the things that we're thinking about and the things that we're trying to accomplish. But it's a hackathon project, so we're going to have most of it done and then it won't come out for 6 months.
Makes sense. Makes total sense. Hey, you got to test it. You got to do a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, George, it's been a delight to have you here. Thank you for your time. It has been great. And hey, I hope everybody liked this, a lot. Leave it in your comments below. Let us know what else do you want to see as part of Motion Tokens. And I'll meet you on the next one. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Jaime.
Thank you.